I've been trying since a very young age to take this message. And when you see the possibility that there are these kids who are interested in peace, and that with their help, something beautiful can happen, that's really what changed my perspective about going to Flekke.
Our college is now 15 years old and we have over 93 countries at our school. The mission statement is to bring about peace through international understanding.
My name is Julia, I'm from Belarus, and I'm currently a first-year student here at United World College, Red Cross Nordic. First of all, I'd like to express my appreciation for the opportunity to welcome today Preth Bresth and to hear his speech on the occasion of the 2013 graduation. Prem has made a lifelong dedication to his work, talking to people across the globe about the possibility of peace. He has won many awards for the peace efforts and was named Ambassador of Peace by the University of Peace in Brazil in 2006. Last year alone, he spoke in person at 102 speaking engagements in 27 countries and 61 cities.
When you travel around, people are just engaged in their own little world. And who has the time for peace? I mean, it seems such an abstract concept to some people. And here you see students who are trying to say peace is very possible and trying to take a step towards somehow bringing peace.
United World College has been a response to a need that the world, everywhere you are, there's so many divisions. And the idea was to bring people together from across the sides of the divisions.
There's quite a selection of students from around the world, and they've been brought here, and it's not because they could afford it, certainly not. This is a very charitable school, and really choosing the students and then paying for them to be able to come there and receive the education.
It's almost 200 cultures represented, so each person being a representative of their life experience, whether it's being through war-torn situation or from a very affluent situation. Over the years then, I've been working in UWC, following peace messages, deepening my understanding of peace tool training, and I met an Italian student who was her initiative to try to bring Preth Bresth to our college, and I thought this would be very well suited for our students and staff. He couldn't come to visit that year, so instead he kindly invited us to come to the Parliament to hear him speak. And then it turned out we were being invited to participate as a signatory to bring about peace and well-being on European territory. It was perhaps one of the most galvanizing days for me. It was brought together talk and action. After we came back, we were thinking, what are we going to do to make good our pledge? We thought then to hold a Nordic Peace Conference and to develop this idea of mentorship, of elder peacemakers mentoring our students in peace projects. So we had Simon Walker, the video message from Preth Bresth,
About peace.
and then Jeremy Gilly to talk about coalitions for peace.
Hello Preth Bresth, I just watched your video message and it was really stunning.
It got to me like no other peace talk have ever done.
Out of this peace conference, we then felt we had to have him come to the college and speak to the parents and the students and staff at graduation.
Thank you, Prem! Come to Norway!
We were making our schedule for 2013, and there was an invitation from United World College, and so it seemed interesting. I was in South America, so finally I made my way to Norway.
Larry Lamont, Rector of
Pleasure.
Hi, Prem.
UWC.
Pleased to meet you.
Then I got to interact with the students and meet with the students, and I saw their enthusiasm, and that was very, very contagious.
I'm Mason from Jordan/Palestine.
So are you graduating or?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's it, huh? And back home?
That's it.
There were so many interactions that happened, and all of these interactions were just amazing. Personally for me, as somebody who travels and talks about peace, because in one sense, their ideas were very fresh. They weren't coming from a lot of old ideas. Everything was new. And it's like, what can we do to make peace happen? From the brief that I had, I thought that was going to get plastered with questions. But actually, it turned out to be incredibly sweet because they explained to me their little story, and I was touched.
We had students who came forward with projects on inner peace, political peace, and peace in the community. The idea was to say, this is a real question that's come out of my experience, and to addressing them to Prem and saying what was his advice.
One thing that really touched me is it wasn't about them. It was what they could do for the people once they got back. So it wasn't a selfish thing. It was just really beautiful, so human, and so sweet, and so tender that it really was all about, let's make this happen.
This August I'm going to university, and I'm thinking a lot whether to study political science or not. And because my people, they are in need of me, but I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not that much interested in politics, but in a way I'm feeling that I have to, because I am like one of the fewer students who had this opportunity, like studying outside of the country. So I don't know what to do. I think Prem's answer was really good one, because I know his ideology. It is really cool to base all your work in peace and in truth, so it will be really strong.
Become good at whatever is going to help your people. Of course you should do that. And maybe in that position, you can also bring about reflection on peace. And let the peace be your strength.
Thanks so much.
Here's a person who wants to do something. And so I know that for somebody to do that, they have to have a strength. They have to have a commitment. They have to have a commitment to themselves for the strength. Otherwise, it won't last very long.
I really think that he is really good advice. Thanks to him also. And I think it is really possible.
They knew very well, because the picture that they painted, they knew very well how impossible this task was. But they were going to go back, and they were going to effect changes. And this is what I talked to them about.
I know it's kind of a hard question, but could you give a simple definition of peace so we could know what is actually peace?
I'm not here to just throw another definition. Peace is the state when you become a vegetable. This is what most people define it as. You have no more desires. You sit on top of a mountain with your eyes closed, and a lot of people think that like you're a vegetable at that point. No. Peace is within you. Peace, right now, peace is within you. You know that? Did you know that? It's right now, it's within you. So why don't you define it for me? Feel it, and you will realize there are no words adequate for that description. Peace is when this heart is filled with a gratitude for what you have been given without wanting more. Peace is when you understand the value of this blessing called the breath that you have been given. Peace is to admire that one beautiful lifetime every single day. So I haven't defined it. But I've told you what I feel peace is. It's a smile. It's a tear. It's a feeling. And when you know it, there is no mistaking it.
I think Prem said it really wonderfully, that peace is not an invitation to be reluctant and to be a vegetable. It's an active, conscious state. So I think this was especially important to me, because this was the point when he actually pointed out that peace is not about half existing. It's being fully present. On behalf of the RCN community, I welcome our honored guest, Prem Rawat.
It was very powerful because there was all these parents. And I told them you should be very, very proud of your kids, that they're here and that they're interested in peace. And what a wonderful opportunity that they have had. Of course, the challenge is that you come out of that graduation and you keep that thirst, keep that initiative going and going and going. And would they be able to do it?
The second speech, there was a moment in which he was almost confrontational with the students.
You are the future, and you have every right to forge the future the way you want. And how should that want be? You know, in your heart of hearts, you know what that want should be. That you want to be in peace, not in war. Can you make a difference? I think so. You know why? Because if human beings are not going to make a difference on the face of this earth, we are all in very, very big trouble.
And I was thinking, now, will this go down in a Nordic context? And in fact, many students, they said that at first we were really being called to task, and this made us think about what we actually were going to do. Rather than just to hear the words, what were we actually going to do? And so that I think was a timely graduation message.
They need to remember that challenge. They need to remember that peace is important.
With his strong words, he's asking us to come back to what does it mean to love wisdom, to be at peace, rather than to just be the title or the appearance of.
I really saw that there was a very unique angle that this generation of kids would grow up and perhaps be the seeds of those leaders that could make a change in this world. And I see that as a very powerful thing, that going to Flekke was kind of like that for me. That these beautiful young people who had the enthusiasm, that maybe all I could do was to just give them a seed. And they will be these magnificent trees of peace in their countries. I know that I am going to be going and traveling so many places, and sometimes that's all I can do. Sometimes I'm there less than 48 hours. And somebody would look at it and go, well, yeah, what will you get accomplished? I mean, the time is so little, you're gonna go talk to them for about an hour and you think that's it, that's enough. But to me, it's like, well, I get to sow the seed.